Here I have sales data with lots of information, and I want to create a dynamic and interactive dashboard from this data like this. Here in this dashboard, we have multiple types of charts, like pie chart, bar chart, column chart, and combo chart, and it's set up to show the monthly data based on the selection change through this slicer. I'm going to show you how can you make dashboard like this. So let's get started. Here I have a sales data, which includes order number, customer ID, customer name, gender, age, customer state, order date and month, product they ordered, category of the product, quantity they order and price of the product and total amount of that product and so on. We will use this data to create our dashboard. In order to start, we will first add new sheet here and name it as dashboard. For this dashboard, we don't need grid lines and header, so I will go to page layout and uncheck the view checkbox in grid lines and headings. Now, we are going to create our first chart, and for that we will go to Data tab and click anywhere and then click Insert and select Pivot Table. In this pop-up window of Pivot Table, just click OK and new sheet will be added. We will name sheet as a source, because we want to create a first chart in our dashboard to show the data of the source of the orders. Then we will go to Pivot Table fields and first select the buying source and drag and drop it to the rows section. And then we will select, drag and drop the order number field to the value column. Now our table shows the source of the order and its count. Here we have 500 orders which came through multiple sources like app, in-store, online, and phone order. Now we will add a chart for this data. For this, we will go to Pivot Table Analyze tab and click on Pivot Chart, and here I will select Pie Chart and then click OK. Now here, we see count of order number. These are the fields of the column, which I don't want to show, so I will right-click on it and select Hide option. Here I will change the title and put it as Buying Source, and I will adjust the width of the chart. Here we have the plus icon, which basically shows chart elements. I will click on it and include the data labels, which is the count of the orders. Now if you see this, we have all the numbers like 121, 124, 138, and 117, which is the order count by source, and total order count is 500 orders. But if you have more orders in thousands, then it will be hard to understand the order counts, so it's better to convert this number to percentage to easily understand it. For this you need to select the value and right-click and click Show Value As and chose option % of grand total. Here it shows the zeros and we want to get rid of those zeros. For that we will select all the numbers and go to Home tab and decrease the zeros to get rid of the zeros from the percentage. So now here our first chart is ready. I will simply now copy this chart and paste it in our dashboard sheet and adjust it a little bit to make it look better. Now we will go to Data Sheet and we will create a next chart. Next chart is about the top 5 states. For that, we will go to Insert tab and click on the Pivot Table and then click OK. We see the fields options. Now first of all we will drag and drop the customer state into rows section. Now here we want top 5 sales. That means the state which has highest sales based on the amount should appear in our chart. For that we will drag and drop the sale price. Now here you see that we have the data for all the states, but we want the data only for top 5 states, so for that we will right-click on this data and select Filter option and click Top 10. In this window we will put 5 to get the top 5 states and hit OK. And now we got the top 5 states and their sales amount. Now we need to convert this into chart. For that, I will go to Pivot Table Analyze tab and click on Pivot Chart. Here in this window, I will select the bar chart for this and click OK. We got the bar chart now. I will right-click and hide all the field names. I will remove this total from here, and I will change the title as Top 5 States. Then click on the plus icon and check the Data Labels option. And also I will remove the grid lines from this chart. Now, I will copy this chart with Ctrl+C and will go to the dashboard sheet and paste it there and adjust it to look nice. I will rename the sheet of this chart as Top 5 States, so that we know what work and data this sheet has. Let's go to our data sheet again and create a next chart. For that we will again go to Insert tab and click Pivot Table and hit OK. Now from the field selection, we will select Buyer Gender, because now we want to create a chart to know orders placed based on gender. So we will select Buyer Gender and drag and drop at rows section, then we will select the order number and drag it to values. This will show the total order placed by each gender. Instead of order count, If we want to know the total sales by gender, then for that, we will remove this order number and drag and drop the sales price. That will show us the total sales by each gender, but for this chart, we will see the total orders placed, so we will put the order number back into the values section. Now as we can see here, more orders are coming from female. Instead of order count, we want to see that as percentage. For that, we will right-click, go to Show Value As, and select Percentage of Grand Total. To get rid of the decimals, we will go to Home tab and click on the Decrease Zero option to remove the zeros. Now, we will convert this data to chart, and for that, we will go to Pivot Table Analyzer and click on Pivot Chart, and we will select Pie Chart and click OK. Now, I will right-click and hide the field's name, and edit the title to name it as Gender-Wise Sales. Then click on the plus icon and check the Data Label options to see the values. Now let's adjust the chart little bit, then copy with Ctrl+C, and then I will go to Dashboard Sheet and paste it and adjust it to look better. Let's rename the sheet as Gender-Wise Sales, so that we know what work was done in the sheet. Now we have got the chart of Gender-Wise Sales. Next we will create a chart for gender again, but in that chart, we will add state as well, so our chart will tell the order counts for each state based on gender. For that, we will again go to Insert tab and click on Pivot Table to create a new sheet. First of all, we will drag the buyer gender and drop a column section. See here we got male and female. Now, we add order number in Values section. Now we need state as well. For that, we will drag customer state and put it in Rows section. Now, we have the order count data for each state gender-wise. Now we will create chart for this data. For that, we will go to Pivot Analyzer and click on Pivot Chart. This time, we will select Combo as our chart type, because we want to see two measures, gender as well as state, so select Combo Chart Type and hit OK. Now, I will right-click and hide the field's name. Click on the plus icon and include Chart Title, and give the title name as State versus Gender. Adjust the chart little bit. I will move this title to little left and bring these to the top, and stretch the chart to look good. Now let's copy this chart and go to Dashboard Sheet and paste it there. Adjust the chart to the dashboard little bit. Rename the sheet as State versus Gender to know what work we did in this sheet. Now we will create one last chart, which is for order versus sales, and for that I will again insert a pivot table. This chart will give the information about the total order and total sales through those orders. First, I will drag and drop order number to values. Then we'll add sales price to values. By default it shows some option, but if you want to change it, you can click on this field and select the function you want. I will keep this as some for now. Now I will add order month in Rows section, which shows order and total sales for a respective month. Like here, for January month order count is 40 and this is the sales amount for those 40 orders. Similarly, we have the data for all the months. Then I will go to Pivot Analyzer and add Pivot Chart, and select the chart type as Combo. When I select this chart, you will notice that count of order number is very tiny and almost invisible. Its due to count is very low compared to sales amount. To make it visible, just check this box and now you will see the chart clearly. Now hit OK to create the chart. Now, I will right-click and hide the field's name. Then adjust the chart to make it look better. Now click on the plus icon and select Title, and put title name as Order versus Sales. Then click on the plus icon and uncheck the grid lines to remove the grid lines from the chart. Now our chart is ready to copy. Press Ctrl+C to copy the chart and go to Dashboard Sheet and paste it. And adjust the chart and make it aligned with other charts. Let's give the name of this sheet as Order versus Sales. Here I have all the charts available in this sheet. Now I will add a slicer to dynamically change and analyze the data. Select any of the chart in order to add a slicer, then go to Pivot Chart Analyze tab and click on Insert Slicer. This pops up a window to show all the fields of our data. We need to select a field which we want to use to analyze our data. In this case, I am going to select Order Month field and hit OK. Now we got the slicer. Let's adjust it to proper place and align it with charts. Here we see the order month in the heading. I want to modify it. For that, I will click on the slicer and go to Slicer tab and select Slicer Settings. Here I will modify the display header and type as Monthwise Analysis. If you want, you can uncheck this checkbox to hide the heading. I will keep it checked and hit OK. Now we have our slicer. All we need to do is to connect this slicer to all the charts, so that data in those charts change dynamically upon selection change of the slicer. To do that, click on Report Connection, which opens up the pop-up. And here in this pop-up, we will check all the checkboxes so that all the charts are connected with the slicer, and then hit OK. Now when you select any month, its corresponding data is changed and reflected in all the charts. Like when I click January, watch closely, data is changed in all the charts. Like here, for Jan month highest sales came from Arizona. Similarly, when I click on any other month, its corresponding data is changed, like for this month, highest sales came from New York. So now our dynamic and interactive dashboard is ready, which we made using pivot table and pivot chart. I hope you will find this video helpful. I will include the data in the description, so that you can use it for practice and prepare the dashboard yourself. That's all in this video. Please make sure to subscribe to channel and share it with your friends. See you in the next video.